Nigerians are more divided today than they were in 1960 when we got independence. That it was time for Nigeria to sit down to renegotiate our mutual coexistence. Quite a number of people have gone. That's what Babangida himself was talking about. So any sane person ought to appreciate that. And I'm saying this as a warning. Anyone who is still off his mind and imagines that what those of them, preponderance of them in the military leadership who are still holding the reign, there is nothing negative in inserting in our constitution the provision for referendum for whoever wants to. It is not anything negative. It is those who are benefiting from this vicious system who regard the provision of referendum as wanting to break up Nigeria. It's a shameful, very ignorant perspective. Number two, I think the greatest majority of the people from the eastern part, what they're insisting upon is a federal system upon which we secured our independence. That's what they want.
Not necessarily Biafra.
Not necessarily Biafra. It's because of the absence of a federal arrangement. Because by the military organogram, some people who have captured Nigeria have cornered it, and they've turned themselves to be the owners of Nigeria, while others are on the sideline watching them. So it is those people who are being sidelined, abandoned, ignored, who are clamoring for something like Biafra, IPOB. It's the same reason for what you call Egbesu, Niger Delta Avengers. It's the same thing that when you hear the OPC in the Yoruba land here talking about it, when you talk about middle belt youth leaders, it's the same thing. Agitation for equitable distribution of national resources. Let us have, because we are heterogeneous people of diverse culture and tradition, religion. So each one should live a free, independent life, but to coordinate at the center. That is what federal constitutional arrangements guarantee to us, and that's on the basis upon which we secure our independence. So that is what Nigerians are clamoring for. And in any sane society where people are honest with themselves, where you don't have dubious elements in office as leaders, where there is agitation, persistent agitations from different quarters of your country, and such agitations are being followed up with some measure of violence, it tells you that it is time to sit down, to renegotiate your mutual coexistence. They imagine that what they did to us before the advent of Nadeco, they can still do so today. They must be jokers. Certainly, things have changed radically. Nigerians have been opened up to the world. And with the advent of the social media and the internet, one single event here within the next 2 minutes can be viral. And finally, on this course, it must be, you must know, any country where they are using force of arms to hold them together can never last. The worst mercenary of imperialism is Great Britain. It has been forced to concede some concession to Scotland, to Irish, to Wales, and there's nothing they can do about it, because self-determination is the anthem of this new millennium. Nobody wants to be lorded over by the other person. Nigerian judiciary itself, as presently constituted, is not supporting the fight against corruption. That's why, look, one of the institutions, greatest institution created by Nigerian Constitution is what they call the NJC, National Judicial Council. The composition of that, the composition of that institution is unsustainable. it ought not to be allowed to remain.
Immediately after independence, I think we got it wrong at every point. The only thing is that the severity of the problem is being aggravated successively till now. You know, after independence, there was turbulence. The local politics was so bad. There was animosity. We were divided along tribal line. And all sorts of things happened that made the military came in. There was military incursion in 1966, January, the first coup. And there was a counter coup in 6 months later in July 1966. Since then, as a matter of fact, the federation we had during the first 3 years until we got our republic until 1966, that is the first 6 years of our independence, we were operating a federal system in which the regions were autonomous and autonomously managing their affairs and their resources. But immediately after the coup, the first coup in 1966, the military reduced the whole country to a barracks, and they are still calling it federal system. Meanwhile, it's a unitary system. The whole country, only one man at the top of it, dictates down, and that continued. Even now, the constitution we have makes the center so powerful that the president of Nigeria sitting in Abuja can turn a man in Arodizo to a woman. So powerful. Unlike the United States that we said we copied. The states has autonomy. Donald Trump, even though he's the president of the United States, there are some states he cannot mess up. Their legal system will not allow him. Recall immediately he came here as president, he banned some certain countries not to enter the United States. They went to just a state court and got an injunction to block him. So it's very well. Right now, we are not practicing true federalism. The power is so much concentrated, and day in, day out, those at the center are devising more means to capture the states. Right now, the politics we are playing is not even favoring. This government, when they were coming on board, one of their campaign points was that they will restructure Nigeria. What have we seen?
Do you consider restructuring as one total solution that can bring to an end all of these challenges?
First of all, I think we must agree to either continue to live together or not.
So we need a referendum?
A referendum.
But that's not provided for in our constitution.
We have to adjust the constitution.
Do you see our lawmakers?
The constitution we are using now is written by the military.
Do you see our lawmakers going ahead to do that?
We don't have that type of lawmakers. Instead, it's infighting, animosity. The constitution must be retuned to allow for such, because every human being, even if animals in the forest have freedom to live in a certain area, if a lion that have a territory of about 40 kilometers square is so powerful, taking all the animals in that territory, they have freedom to migrate to another territory where they will have peace. How much more human being? We must retune the constitution to allow for referendum to decide whether we want to continue to live together instead of killing ourselves like chicken.
Though we don't do okay, they talk about all this things, okay, they go on for this our country. And I know just okay, even this referendum or restructuring, even this restructure, it's okay that they talk about, even though okay, this country is restructured now, and let's just say go still work. The first man it's okay, he talk when inside this video, he talk and say the only thing it's okay, they carry this country go behind and be issue of sentiment and many other things, because this country now, they favor some people and they favor some people. Now it's in that first man talk, but the other man will be okay, talk inside those videos, say that this restructure will be okay, everybody they talk about if referendum is not allowed for this country, there's no way this country can do restructuring. And if this country is forcefully restructured, there's no way this country go like I comot for this mess wey be say okay we dey, the mess wey be say okay we dey in go still continue even though the country is restructured. I get joy for wetin the bold person wey be say okay dey talk for inside this video said. And our own opinion concerning all this thing that is going on be say make this country now, make people wey be say okay dem be majority for this country now unite together first. Make dem unite together first, because even those people wey be say okay dem be majority now, dem no dey united. So how can you just come out to say now okay that make this country being restructured and it will happen? It wouldn't happen if these three people wey be say okay they get this country now never agree to be together. There's no way restructuring will help this country as said by the other man wey be say okay talk for inside this video. Though we dey get many issues for this country it's not only restructuring matter that we care for inside this country. This country is not a nation. This country is not a country. So the only thing wey be say okay I know say okay you go fit help this country small na im be division. If they divide this country and know say okay everybody go enjoy am, this referendum and many other things wey be say many people dey clamoring for, if the country is divided now, nothing like that again. So everybody go just do on your own and do whatever the person want. That is what we have to tell you guys today. And for those of you guys that are just coming here today, if you have anything that you want to see concerning what these two persons that spoke in the video said, you should drop your own thoughts in the comment section. Let everybody learn. And if today is the first time, please kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.